Good morning, Arizona sports family. How are we doing out here today on this Saturday morning, ladies and gentlemen? We got a special episode for you today, talking all things breaking news, how that's going to implicate the Arizona Cardinals after the breaking news came down from the Bears trading it away to the Carolina Panthers, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys haven't done so already, please definitely do me a huge favor. Smack the like button on this video. If this is your first time here, subscribe. We are on the road to 12K, ladies and gentlemen. Can't do it without you guys, so definitely smack the like button and subscribe. Now, one last thing here is that this video is brought to you and sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. If you go ahead and download the app today, use promo code AZSF, you are able to 20 times the amount of your money, right? So essentially what Underdog Fantasy is basically a spot where you're able to go ahead and get a 5-man lineup, up to a 5-man lineup. And if you do that, if you get everything correct, then you're able to 20 times your money on the amount that you put in. So definitely go ahead and download Underdog Fantasy today. Use promo code AZSF so you can get a $100 deposit. $100 match of your deposit up to $100. So just FYI, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started here today. Big shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Michael, Colton, David, John Paul. What's up, everybody? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. All right, let's get started here, right? Let's start talking about real quick updates before we talk about the big breaking news, right? Now, I think we're all here to talk about Chicago Bears trading their first overall pick, which at one point on my Twitter page, I said it's a realistic chance that the Bears can trade away with that number 1 overall spot, right? Get away with it. And the Cardinals have their choice of either Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. Ladies and gentlemen, that has now came to fruition. But now we're starting to see people saying, well, the Arizona Cardinals should trade back. We're going to dive into all of that here pretty soon. But let's get to all the news and the updates from the Arizona Cardinals before we jump into that. Let's go ahead and talk about Greg Dortch. Now, Greg Dortch went ahead and released on his Twitter page that he's coming back for one more year, at least one more year. I'm excited. Greg Dortch is going to be a member of the Arizona Cardinals next year. And let's be honest, if you've been rocking with the AZ Sports Fan here for as long as I've been a channel on this YouTube platform, you know that I've been a big fan of Greg Dortch, or at least I guess this is last year, right? We haven't talked about Greg Dortch for the amount of time that I've been on this podcast. But I like Greg Dortch. I truly do. I think he's an actual awesome asset. I think he's wonderful, and I'm very, very excited. So definitely kudos to Monty Osenfort. We said that he's going to have his work cut out for him this coming off season, and it starts with signing some key crucial pieces back, and he automatically did that with bringing Greg Dortch back. So I'm really excited about that. Greg Dortch is coming back in an Arizona Cardinal uniform next year. So I'm excited about that. Now, we obviously have to talk about Byron Murphy and Zach Allen, which are still going to be the two big unrestricted free agents heading into this year's free agency class. I don't know how you guys are feeling about the whole situation of Byron coming back or Zach Allen, but I do believe that both of them have to be a must. Now, we might only be getting one back. Maybe we might not get any back, but I do think it's really crucial for the Arizona Cardinals to at least bring one back for Byron Murphy, because our cornerback position is absolutely brutal and it's bad. And then for Zach Allen, if we do decide to bring him back, it would only help him, right? Or help us, because the idea of him being molded and trained by JJ Watt is obviously a plus on its own. So those are the two big names to really look out for this free agency. If we bring him back, or if we're not bringing him back, if we're allowing him to hit free agency, it's a little worrisome. The Arizona Cardinals did open up some cap space, and we're going to dive into that here pretty soon as well. So Greg Dortch is back. Super excited about that. Another thing to talk about is Marcus Golden did get released yesterday. Now, that did open up some cap space for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, with every move that has been, done so far, with Rodney Hudson getting, or essentially going to get released, Chosen Anderson getting released, as well as Marcus Golden, we did open up some cap space. So at one point we had about 13 mil. That has now turned into a beautiful $34 million in cap space for the Arizona Cardinals to possibly use up. But like I said a little earlier, we still have two people to possibly bring back that are automatically or already former Arizona Cardinal players, right? Byron and Zach Allen. So we might see a good chunk of that getting, taken away if we do decide to bring them back. But if we don't, we have $34 million to spend in this year's free agency class. A lot of people seem to forget that we also do need to pay for draft picks as well, especially because we have a lot of draft picks, so we need to pay them as well. So all 34 million won't be allocated to free agents, but a good majority of it is going to be. So Marcus Golden, unfortunately, has been released, but it does make sense. We are going through a younger movement, right? We got Cam Thomas, we got Majay Sanders, Victor Demikichi, and if we do draft a Will Anderson, we got him as well. So Marcus Golden being gone, yes, it sucks. We all like the junkyard dog, but I do think that it was time. It was definitely time. Now, the cap situation, right? Like I said a little earlier, at one point we had like $13-16 million. We have a very healthy amount. Now, we're not the top out there in terms of the biggest amount of spenders. No, I think that's going to be the Chicago Bears. They have like upwards of $80+ million to spend in free agency. They have a crazy amount. But that's what happens, right? When you have a rookie quarterback, that's what happens. You don't have to pay very much people, and they were going through their own rebuild last year, and the Arizona Cardinals are still in a good spot, but you obviously can tell that there is a turnover that's happening for the Arizona Cardinals. So Marcus Golden was just a cap casualty, unfortunately. Kind of separate. Hopefully he does nothing but good things with a different team if he does get re-signed, but the cap just got so much better for the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm excited about that. Now, DeAndre Hopkins, we did hear him speak on the Pat McAfee show. Obviously, whenever we hear these interviews, a lot of people want to hear like straight down to the nitty gritty, right? Especially including myself, right? I want to hear those big, hard questions, but we also got to take a step back and really realize that this is a business, and a lot of these players are under contract, and a lot of these players are having to kind of walk on eggshells whenever these questions are asked. So I think DeAndre Hopkins did a very good job in talking about the idea of, hearing all the trade rumors, hearing everything that's going on in the outside world, but him not really trying to start any more rumors. But what he knows and what he's able to control is that he is, working on himself. He's trying to be the best wide receiver he possibly can be. But I don't know. There's something in me that still feels like DeAndre Hopkins is gone. I don't really know how to feel about a world without DeAndre Hopkins, but I understand if we did move off of him, right? I think we're all kind of in that situation right now where DeAndre Hopkins has been traded before. He got traded to us from the Texans, and I can see him go to another team. One of the biggest reasons why is because DeAndre Hopkins, although might not say it up front, he wants a ring, right? And we talked about this in a few of our live streams back, is that loyalty is not given anymore. You can't buy. I mean, loyalty is not there anymore. The last loyal person we got was Larry Fitzgerald, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that name, Larry Fitzgerald, Larry Legend. And it just doesn't get you anything anymore. Larry Legend was loyal to a fault, and he never won a Super Bowl. So It's for the best interest for players to try to, especially if they want to go ring chasing, maybe go ahead and get him over to a different team. Maybe we can accumulate more picks that way. But right now, DeAndre Hopkins didn't feed into the narrative, but he has heard what's going on. Him and his agent are fully aware of what's happening, but as of right now, TBD. But we did hear a rumor that this coming week is going to be the deciding factor if DeAndre Hopkins stays or he ends up going, because the start of free agency is this coming Wednesday. Or at least the new year. But we will start hearing news on Tuesday, maybe even possibly on Monday as well. So a lot of kind of news unfolding in the world of the NFL. So really excited to go ahead and cover everything that's been happening. So that's been, I guess, all the big news in a nutshell. Now, I do make videos with more details if you want to go ahead and, hear a little bit more details. I also have a video out about what Kelvin Beachum said about Kyler Murray. So definitely go ahead and check those out if you guys are interested in hearing a little bit more. I just want to give you the big snippets before we move on to the big thing, right? We want to talk about the big breaking news that transpired yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news that transpired yesterday, and it was this. No, it has nothing to do with the Arizona Cardinals, but it does have implications for the Arizona Cardinals, and that is that the Bears traded their first overall spot to the Carolina Panthers, ladies and gentlemen. The Bears traded their first overall spot to the Carolina Panthers. Now, this is the haul that the Bears got. They got the 9th overall spot. They got the 61st overall spot, which is a second rounder. You got a first rounder for 2024, and then you got a second rounder for 2025. And not only that, the Bears also got DJ Moore, wide receiver, which some people are actually saying he's a number 1 wide receiver. So the Bears pretty much kind of made out like a bandit, if you want to say it that way, but the compensation looks pretty nice for the Bears. But I think that if you really pay attention to the NFL world, you know that this was going to be a real possibility that the Bears were going to trade out. They have their quarterback, right? There was a rumor out there that Justin Fields might not be the quarterback of the future. That was all just smoke screens. Justin Fields is their quarterback of the future. And if you're not trying to get a quarterback, you're probably trying to find yourself out of that first overall spot to compile a lot of picks and try to get yourself in the best position. Now, that kind of segues us over to the topic that I want to talk about here, right? The implications that's happening for the Arizona Cardinals, right? Or if there's implications happening for the Arizona Cardinals, what are the Cardinals going to do? Now, I do have a poll question, ladies and gentlemen, in the top of the chat. So if you guys are here, definitely go ahead and put your, your I guess your response. My question to you guys is, will the Cardinals trade back? We have 44% right now saying yes, and we got 56% saying no. So here's where we're at right now, right? This is where we're at. The Arizona Cardinals currently right now are sitting at the 3rd overall spot. We got the Chicago Bears trading their first overall spot to the Carolina Panthers, which, let's be honest, they're going to go quarterback. They have to find a quarterback of the future. We got the Texans sitting at the 2nd overall spot. They're going to go quarterback. We all know that. Now, here's the Arizona Cardinals at the 3rd overall spot in the NFL draft. This is where we're at. Now, we have the ability here to actually make some noise, right? Couple different things we can do here in this scenario for the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals can stay pat. They can stay exactly where they're at this very moment. They can stay there and try to get one of the generational talents. And I know I'm putting the quotations because a lot of people use generational as well as myself. Generational talents in Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. The Cardinals could either do that or they could decide to trade back. So far, the chat is saying no, don't trade back, which I'm kind of with you guys as well, and I'll explain why. So here's the big, I guess, debate amongst Cardinal fans. Because if you're on Twitter, this is probably going to be a debate that you find yourself in some way or another, or any social platform. There's fans right now that has looked at the haul that the Chicago Bears have seen or gotten, and they want that. Cardinal fans now want to get a little greedy. Cardinal fans now want to start saying, I want this. This is what I want. But let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, this whole entire time, we were trying to get at this third overall spot to be before any team that's going to have the ability to draft anybody else but a quarterback, right? We're trying to get in front of every team that doesn't need a quarterback. And we're here. We're now here. We're here in the situation where we are finally in the spot that we're in, where the two teams that are in front of us need quarterbacks. And where does that put the Arizona Cardinals? The ability to get Will Anderson, which is sought out to be a generational talent, or Jalen Carter. Now, Jalen Carter's draft stock has dramatically taken a hit. I'm not sure if he's going to go top 5. Some might say he might not go top 10. He might still, right? But there's a lot of yuckiness. There's a lot of unnews that still needs to unfold. A lot of things that the GMs need to do research on and figure out if Jalen Carter is going to go top 10 still. I don't think the Cardinals are going to be wanting to do that, personally. I think what the Cardinals should do is stay at the third overall spot. And hear me when I say this. Now, I understand where the people are coming from, where people are saying trade back and try to accumulate more picks. This is the way I like to think of it. Just because you have quantity doesn't mean that you're going to get quality. Quantity doesn't always equate to quality. Now, if you take a look at the drafts, if you take a look at the drafts that we've been seeing all year or every single year, most of these first round picks are not superstars. Most of these first round picks are not superstars. Let me say that for the people in the back. They're not superstars. About 4 to 5% are superstars. 80% are mid to average players. And the rest, less than 80%. I'm maybe 60% are mid to average players, and everybody else is probably considered a bust. You have an opportunity here to get a guy that's not a guarantee. I'm not saying he's a guarantee, but he's got a better probability of working out in the NFL than most people that we can get outside the top 10 or outside the top 8. This is the opportunity for the Arizona Cardinals to possibly not repeat history. And one big name that's been thrown out there was that the moment that the Arizona Cardinals did not get Terrell Suggs. Now, yes, he did come here for a little bit, right? The moment that Terrell Suggs came here late in his career, trying to collect money. We're not talking about that Terrell Suggs, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the Terrell Suggs that was wreaking havoc in the NFL when he was in his prime. We have the opportunity right now for the Arizona Cardinals to do that. Right now, we have it with either Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. And I get it. Jalen Carter is not probably going to get picked up by the Arizona Cardinals. But those are the two top prospects coming into the NFL that are most likely a shoo-in to be the next best thing. And we got Cardinal fans out there that are trying to trade this pick away. Because what? An extra first round pick? That, let's be honest, it's really going to depend on what that other team does. If that team is a winning team, then we're not picking to the later rounds anyways, or the late first round pick anyways. We have a chance here to get a guy that's probably a 75 to 80% success rate. 75 to 80% success rate with Will Anderson. And I just I don't get it. I don't understand why Cardinal fans want to move back to where the Raiders are at, or possibly even the Atlanta Falcons. I don't understand it. And here's another thing to kind of worry about as well. If we miss out on either Will Anderson or Jalen Carter because we're getting a little too greedy, guess what? We got the Seattle Seahawks sitting at the 6th overall spot, or is it the 5th? The 5th overall spot. The Seattle Seahawks are sitting at the 5th overall spot, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? They're going to get Will Anderson, or they're going to get Jalen Carter. And guess what? Those guys are going to be reminding the Arizona Cardinals every single time we play them, 2 times a year, reminding us, you didn't pick us up. Shame on you. Here we go. I don't want to live in that world. I don't want to live in that world, ladies and gentlemen. The Arizona Cardinals have an opportunity here. Now, There is a possibility that there is one trade back that I'm willing to do. One trade back that I'm willing to do, and I'll explain that a little later on. The Cardinals right now have the ability to get a guy that's 75 to 80% success rate. Everybody else, we don't know. I'm not trying to live in the world, and I'm not trying to knock on Isaiah Simmons, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to knock on Zaven Collins. I'm not. I'm looking for a superstar. That's what I'm looking for. You're not in this position very, very many times. Yes, we were first overall and we picked Kyler Murray up. Yes, we were in that position in 2019. And now we're finding ourselves with the third overall in the 2022 draft. Yes, I'm aware. I'm not trying to knock on Zaven and I'm not trying to knock on Isaiah Simmons. But I'm not trying to look for another, oh, he's progressing. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to say settle for less and say things like, oh, he's progressing. Oh, he's doing all right. No, give me somebody that has a 75 to 80% success rate in the NFL that's going to be wreaking havoc in the NFC West. Give me that guy. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I just don't get why fans are starting to say it. Okay, I get why fans are starting to say it. This is why. This is why fans are starting to say it, because they've seen what the Chicago Bears got and they want that too. I understand it. But we have a chance here. It's not like we're sitting at the 5th overall spot. We have a chance to get one of the best prospects coming out of this NFL draft. I say we need to do it. Let me get to my first contribution of the day. What's up, AZ fan? $20 donation. What's up, brother? He says, I wouldn't mind trading back with the Colts. Could get some draft capital. I have a feeling here. The Texans could draft Anderson at 2. Then they trade with the Cardinals again to get their QB. I hope it doesn't happen. Let me read this back again. So, could get some draft capital. I have a feeling here the Texans could draft Anderson first at 2. Then they trade with the Cardinals again. To get their QB. I hope it doesn't happen. A little confused. I'm not going to lie, my dude. With the Colts, we're going to get to this here pretty soon. Now, yes, there is a world that the Texans might not get quarterback. Yes, I agree with you there. There might be a world where the Arizona Cardinals don't go quarterback. I'm sorry. I apologize. The Texans don't go quarterback. There might be a world that we might see that as well. I agree with you. Here's the situation that we're in right now. The Arizona Cardinals, if Will Anderson falls to them, and obviously we need to wait till trade night, right? That's when we figure out. That's when we really, really know what's going on. But honestly, I think that the probability of the Texans going quarterback is greater than we think, because they need a quarterback. They're going through a brand new regime. It makes sense for them to do so. If they don't, then we can open up the thoughts of possibly trading back. But obviously that might shoot us in the foot, right? We might shoot ourselves in the foot if they go Will Anderson and the Arizona Cardinals are sitting at 3 with Jalen Carter and then everybody else. We might not be able to find a trade suitable. We might not. Yeah, I mean, there's always that real possibility. Okay, let me see. Okay, he says the Texans could draft Will Anderson first, then they trade for the 3rd overall spot with the Cardinals because the Texans. Okay, thanks for clarifying it. So you're saying that they can get Will Anderson and then trade back. So the Cardinals will move to 12? Oh, I hope not. I hope not. That sounds terrible. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. Honestly, that sounds terrible to me. That sounds terrible. The Cardinals right now, like I said a little earlier, have an opportunity to do something great. They do have an opportunity to do something good here. Now, yes, we can trade back and get the tackle, right? We can get Skoronski. We can get, Paris Johnson. We can do that, right? Or we can get the best cornerback in the eyes of the Arizona Cardinals. That we can do. I don't want the Arizona Cardinals to overthink this. Yes, cornerback is important, right? I agree. Cornerback is very, very important. I agree. Byron Murphy might not come back, and we'll find ourselves in a world of hurt, probably. We still got some really good cornerbacks in the 2nd round. We got what? 4 picks in the top 100. If you want to allocate some draft capital for cornerbacks in the top 100, I think we got like 4 or 5 picks in the first 100. I think it's 4. We can allocate it. We also got free agency. We opened up some more room. So I heard Darius Slay might be available. So, I mean, if Byron Murphy doesn't come back, I can see where we're coming from. But I'm not trying to get a guy that has progress and all we have to say about him is, oh, he's getting better. Because let's be honest. And like I said, I need to put this disclaimer out because most people get offended. And I don't know why. Zaven Collins and Isaiah Simmons. Every single year we're talking about Isaiah Simmons and Zaven Collins. All we can say is, oh, they are getting better. We've never said, oh, they hit the peak. Oh, they hit their prime. Oh, they're superstars. No, we've never said it. They're saying, oh, we're getting better. Oh, here comes Nick Rallies. He was a linebackers coach. I hope he does good for them. That's what we're saying. Those are the type of things we're saying. And I don't want that to happen for the Arizona Cardinals in this year's draft. I don't want it. The Cardinals need to go after a guy that has a great success rate, percentage rate to be a very, very good piece in the NFL. Now, is there a chance Will Anderson is not good? Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance, but he's got a better chance to succeed than a tackle, the tackles that are later on, right? A cornerback that we're going to pick up later on if we decide to trade back. This is where we're at right now. Cardinal fans, chill real quick. Just chill. Because right now we have close to 50% of the votes right now saying that the Cardinals should trade back. Right now we got 92 votes and we say 51% says no, we shouldn't trade back. And 49% says yes, we should trade back. I don't get it. Quantity doesn't always mean quality, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to have to say to ourselves, oh, they're getting better after year 1. I want a superstar in this first year. A superstar is what I'm looking for in my first rounder. I'm not looking for potential. I'm not looking for somebody that's going to be getting better each single year. I want a superstar. Now, this is going to be what my next kind of thing is to talk about here, right? What's the one place that I want to go to? If we do decide to trade back, the one place that I would like for the Arizona Cardinals to trade back is exactly what my guy AZ Fan 1998 is saying here. I wouldn't mind trading back with the Colts. Exactly what he's saying. That's the one spot that I wouldn't mind trading back for. And what does that mean? We're trading back to the 4th overall spot. That's what that means. The Arizona Cardinals would trade back one spot because the Colts need a quarterback. And what does that mean? We could probably accumulate another top 100 pick. Some might say a second round pick. Some might say a second and a later round pick to move one spot back. That's the only spot that I want the Arizona Cardinals to possibly humor. The only spot is the Colts. That's it. Because the Carolina Panthers, nobody trades to the first overall spot if they're not going to get a quarterback. Let's be honest. Nobody's trading up to not get a quarterback. Let's be honest. Carolina Panthers, quarterback. The Houston Texans, there's still a chance. I would say a 5 to 10% chance they don't go quarterback, but I think 90% chance they go quarterback. The Cardinals, they don't need a quarterback. Some might say we do, but at this moment, we don't need one. The Indianapolis Colts, they need a quarterback. So why not tell the other people that are back there, including the Colts, that we have a lot of interest in the 3rd overall spot? Get the Colts scared. Get the Colts scared. That's what we need to do. Get them to worry about that 3rd overall spot being very, very intriguing to teams like, some might say the Seattle Seahawks, because even Pete Carroll said that they like some quarterbacks. The Vegas Raiders, maybe. Atlanta Falcons. Possible teams that want some more quarterbacks, right? Or want a quarterback. So the Colts, to me, is the only spot that I would like to trade back. The only spot. The Colts, because we can definitely accumulate another pick in the second round. Just moving one spot back and still having Jalen Carter and Will Anderson there. And like I said, Jalen Carter has taken a hit on his draft stock. A big hit. And a lot of things need to get unfolded before he's even considered a top 5, top 10 prospect. Let me get to this contribution. What's up, Michael? He says, trade with the Colts. They take a QB and we still get our pick. Ding, 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 ding. Exactly. Exactly. This is what you need to do right here. Right here. Get the Colts scared. Get the Colts worried that we got people calling for our third overall pick, because there's 4 quarterbacks in this draft. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis, and now Anthony Richard has come up. There's 4 quarterbacks. Now, unless the Colts like every 4 of them, like every single 4 of them, then they don't have to worry about it, right? If the Colts like every single guy, then they don't have to worry about it. But now the Colts should be worried, because at one point they had a possibility of getting the top 2 guys, right? Now, no. Now they're settled with the top 3 guys. And if they don't like Richardson, Anthony Richardson, if they don't like Richardson or Levis, they're kind of screwed. Or if they like one over the other, now they have an opportunity to do so. Now, here's the big question. People are going to say things like, well, why would the Colts do that? The Cardinals are going to get, right? The Cardinals aren't going to get a quarterback because the fear. That's why. The fear. So the question is, why would the Colts trade with the Cardinals when the Cardinals aren't getting a quarterback? Because the fear of the Cardinals trading back. That's why the Colts will trade with the Cardinals. Because if you're at the 3rd overall spot, there's no more uncertainty at all. There's no more uncertainty for the Colts. They can get the top 3 quarterback in their eyes. Now, obviously, when they draft them, they're going to say things like, oh, we wanted this guy the whole time. Okay, cool. Well, whatever. Whatever floats your boat, Colts. Whatever. I don't care less. But the scaredness and the uncertainty of somebody actually coming up and them having to settle for the 4th quarterback. That's why the Colts should be interested in this 3rd overall spot. And that's the only position I want the Cardinals to even consider or humor. Because exactly like my guy up there said, Michael, exactly like he said, trade with them, we still get our pick. Exactly. AZ fan, what's up, brother? He says, hope Monty plays a good chess game with the Colts. Make them think that the Raiders or the Falcons are wanting a QB. Make the trade with us. Exactly. Ding, 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 ding. This right here, Monty Osenfor, and we've said this all offseason, this is going to be the opportunity for this man right here to show the Arizona Cardinal fans that, yes, he hasn't been a GM before, and we're all fully aware of that. But this is the opportunity for Monty Osenfor to come out here like Thanos, with the glove in his hand and say, okay, I will do this myself. Fix this team up, and that's exactly the key to success. That's the only trade back that I want the Arizona Cardinals to do. The only trade back. Right now, we got over 108 votes. 50% says the Cardinals should trade back, and 50% says the Cardinals shouldn't trade back. So I told you, it's split. It's split. The Cardinals right now are split. The Cardinal fan base is split. Got people saying things like, yeah, we should trade back. And we got other people saying, no, Will Anderson's there. The only trade back I want the Cardinals to even humor or sniff around is the idea of trading back with the Colts. That's it. If we can't get that, if we move past the top 5, hear me well when I say this. Screen record this, screenshot, whatever you want to do. If we miss out on Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, or let's say Will Anderson, and the Seahawks get him, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed if the Seahawks take Will Anderson. Pissed. Because they're going to be a constant reminder of what we should have done. You don't want the Seahawks to get Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. Now, where they're at right now, sitting at the 5th overall spot, they got a chance to get one of the 2. They got a chance. Because let's be honest, I've been saying that the Seahawks might go quarterback. There's a lot of Seahawks fans out there saying, oh, no, they're not going to go quarterback. They're not going to. Pete Carroll said that there might be some quarterbacks that they might want. Now, are they trying to gain draft capital too? Maybe. right? Maybe they're just trying to keep all options open. Maybe they're not going to quarterback. They did sign Geno to a 3-year deal. So this is where we're at right now. So for the people that are asking, why would the Colts trade with the Cardinals if the Cardinals aren't going quarterback? Because of the uncertainty. That's why. The uncertainty, that's why. What's up, RV Davies? Says, think Cards want to trade down twice to get more pick. Now we're finding ourselves in a deep hole, a hole that I don't want to find ourselves into. And here's the thing. I don't want the Cardinals to even think about trade. Like, why are we accumulating these many picks? Why? Why are we So here's the thing. So many people, when we're doing these mock drafts, they fall in love with the idea of this prospect because they think that they're going to land. It's not certain. It's not 100% certain that these guys are going to land at all. At all. You give Will Anderson or Jalen Carter to the Seahawks, I promise you, they're going to remind us every single year that they're there. Every single year. And we always got to worry about the next Aaron Donald with Jalen Carter. Or we got to worry about the next Nick Bosa with Will Anderson. Why not us have them? Why not us have them? Why not? For the people that wanted Isaiah Simmons over CeeDee Lamb, what are your thoughts now? Because I remember, what was it, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I forgot the date. The conflict going back and forth with people saying that we should get Isaiah Simmons over CeeDee Lamb because the idea of, Isaiah Simmons being Swiss Army knife, he can do everything. Now, granted, like I said, this is not a knock on Isaiah Simmons because there's a lot to do with the idea of him not being put in the best position available, right? In the position to succeed. There has a lot to do with that as well. But I would say that CeeDee Lamb is more of a star, and I mean more of a factor than Isaiah Simmons is. Am I right? For the people that wanted Isaiah Simmons over CeeDee Lamb, are you guys still happy with it? Let me know in the chat. If you're still happy, cool. If you're still happy with it, cool. Guess what? The Arizona Cardinals, if we trade DeAndre Hopkins, we're going to have Greg Dortch, Rondale Moore, Marquise Hollywood-Brown. All guys under 5'10", 5'11". Every single one of them. Yes, we have Antoine Wesley, but let's be honest. Antoine Wesley is not he's a good shoo-in, right? He's not a superstar. He's not a guy that's going to be like, oh, yeah, watch out defense. No, he's not. What's up, No F Skiving? He says, I would only trade back if Seattle trades back. But that's the thing. Are we waiting draft night to figure out if Seattle's trading back? I don't know. I don't think taking somebody based off of, I think we got to go Will Anderson. I think we got to stop. I think we got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot here. What's up, Julian? He says, other possibilities. What about Atlanta? We get AJ Terrell, their 8th overall pick and could get Tyree Wilson from the Texas Tech at 8 and get a corner. Okay, so other possibilities. What about trading with Atlanta? If we get AJ Terrell, oh, that's a steal. That's a huge W, right? That's a W on its own right there. AJ Terrell is somebody that I wanted to take from them for years. I wanted to take that player from them for years. If we get AJ Terrell, that would be nice because that would be a starter. We don't know if any of these people are going to be starters. They're going to get thrown into the fire, but I'm talking about superstar starters. I'm talking about superstar starters is what I'm looking for. So you're saying trading back with Atlanta, we get AJ Terrell and their 8th pick and picks, and then we can get Tyree Wilson from Texas Tech at 8 and get a corner. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't seem so bad because honestly, AJ Terrell is a bona fide starter, right? And some might say a star too. Some might say a star too. So I don't know. That seems pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie to you. That actually seems pretty nice. And the only reason why is that AJ Terrell. That seems pretty nice. I don't want to move back to the 8th, but it opens up possibilities, right? You can also address the trenches as well. All right. Tyree Wilson, Miles Murphy, a tackle, a guard, anything like that. All right, let's see what the chat. Somebody says if we play 4-3, Isaiah will raise a lot. But that's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Any other player, and I agree. And here's the thing. We're not saying that Isaiah Simmons cannot be a great player, but that's the problem. Can be, right? That's what we're dealing with. Can be a great player. We're already going into year 4 of Isaiah Simmons. Is it year 4 or year 3? Year 3 of Isaiah Simmons. 3. Because he got drafted in 20, right? 20, 21, 22. And then, oh no, 4 years. Wow, where's the time gone? We're going into year 4 of Isaiah Simmons, and we're still talking about possibilities. This is what we're talking about. Possibilities. Year 4, ladies and gentlemen, year 4 we're going into, and we're still talking about if we do this, if we do that. No, give me somebody like Micah Parsons, that this guy is an absolute stud. That's who I want, and that's, to me, Will Anderson. You got to. Oh, AZ fan, I blame Vance big. Oh, I blame Vance big time too. Vance Joseph was not a guy to let young guys flourish in his defense. It wasn't. Vance Joseph was looking for a head coach job. Vance Joseph favored veterans, even though they probably weren't the best. Veterans over young players. It's just what the Cardinals do. It sucks. I hope this new regime with Nick Rallis and Jonathan Gannon coming in here changes that defensive mindset, saying that if you're drafted very young or you're drafted very high, you're going to play year 1 because you got to go through the bumps and bruises. Oh, yes. I fault Vance Joseph fully for the progression of Isaiah Simmons. Fully. But I'm talking about actually career to career on who's better so far. CeeDee Lamb or Isaiah Simmons. I'm going to do the unpopular opinion here. I'm going to say I would have rather gone CeeDee Lamb, personally. Because A, would have helped out our depleted wide receiving core, especially if we trade away DeAndre Hopkins. It's a no-brainer to me. It's a no-brainer. Now, Isaiah can be good. Isaiah can be good, but that's it. Can be good. That's what we're dealing with. Can be good. And that's for the people that are saying trade back. Why? For the idea of can? No. Give me somebody that has a better success rate. That's Will Anderson. That's Will Anderson. Now, we can also address quarterbacks in this year's free agency class as well. J.C. Jackson just got released as well. Now, J.C. Jackson he's not as good as we all thought he was going to be, right? Let's be honest. J.C. Jackson is not as good as we all thought he was going to be. He got released. There's also a rumor that Darius Slay is looking for a trade partner, right? We also got the idea of more cornerbacks being available than we thought. So we can very well go after a cornerback out there. Byron Murphy, if he comes back, I want him back. I truly do. But if he doesn't want us, or if he doesn't want to settle for what we're willing to give, and he wants to go out there and actually get the bag, because I think there might be a team that might want to pay him more than us. Will we regret it? Yes, we might. But the realization is that I think Byron Murphy's going after the biggest contract he possibly can, because why not? Loyalty, you can't find loyalty anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Just because we drafted you, people care less. People can care less. People can care less. So cornerbacks, yes, it's depleted. Is bad looking right now. So going back to the situation of, yeah, didn't JC he was with the Chargers, right? Let's see. Let me just confirm, because I could have sworn I saw it. Oh, they say J.C. Jackson. Wait, who got released? Somebody got released. It was a big. No, I'm sorry, not J.C. Jackson. I apologize. Williams. He was from the Cincinnati Bengals. What the heck is his name? I apologize. Not J.C. Jackson. I apologize. No, not J.C. Jackson. What's his name? Williams. He was from the Chargers. He got. Okay, I'll find out his name. Thanks for correcting me. Chargers. Somebody just got released from the Chargers. There was a cornerback they were pretty high. And I think he came from I think you guys chat probably knows better than what's his name. Jack released someone. So we got AZ fans saying JC got released yesterday. Let me do a little bit of research here because I know somebody else also got released too. And it was the guy that used to play for the Cincinnati Bengals, and he got picked up in free agency. And I wanted him too, and I don't think he worked out very well. So let me find out. Let me retract that statement. I'm going to find out here pretty soon. What's up, No Evskin? Appreciate the contribution. He says, I say get Will, but people want to trade back because we have a lot of holes to fill, and getting rookies is the most affordable thing to do. Yeah, I agree with that. But when we got 8 rounds, we got 8 picks this year. We got 8 picks. That's a lot of picks. 8 picks. That's a lot of rounds. Oh, that's a lot of picks there. 8 of them. Oh, we're going to stockpile all this for, they need to play. That's a lot of picks still. Let's say the success rate of having, 8 picks, let's say 4 of them work out. And I'm not talking about superstars. I'm talking about actually just starters to kind of put in there. If we get 4 or 5 starters out of those 8 picks, that's a huge W for the Cardinals. Now, we're going to have starters come in here, but a lot of them are going to look pretty bad because rookies don't do very well. But I see where people are coming from. I do, but I don't think it's just as easy as trade back, right? Trade back and everything's going to work out for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think it's as easy as that. So the idea of just doing that and everything's going to be okay, I'm not okay with that. Let's see here. Okay, I'm trying to do a little research here. Okay, what? I cannot find his name to save my life. JC Jackson was released. He got arrested. Did he really? Oh, snap. JC Jackson arrest in Massachusetts, family issue. Okay, this is not the guy that I was going to talk about though. Sheesh. Okay. I appreciate you. Thanks so much, AZ fan. I didn't know this. This wasn't the guy I was trying to talk about. Shaquille Griffin is also available as well. This is true. He did get released by the Jags. I don't know why I cannot find this guy to save my life, but we'll find out here pretty soon. William Jackson. There you go. That's who I'm talking about. William Jackson. Oh my goodness. Wait, William Jackson. He was from release former first-round pick William Jackson 4 months after trading him. Yes, this is the guy I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Apollo. I appreciate you. Yes, him too. He just got released.
I'm not sure I understand.
We got Serial here going crazy. Yes, that's who I'm talking about. I appreciate you guys. So, there's still some quarterbacks out there that we can possibly get. I'm not sure if Byron Murphy is going to be able to come back, right? I think he's going to go after the biggest bag out there. And is the Cardinals going to be willing to do that? That's something to kind of remain to be seen. Somebody says, Mike, thoughts if we get Pittman Jr., we need a trade with Indy. So you're saying somehow get Pittman Jr. involved in the trade and then trade back to 4 and they get our 3rd? I wouldn't mind that. Honestly, I wouldn't mind that. I hope that they can give us another late round pick. They probably wouldn't give us a 2nd round pick. They probably would give us a late round, right? Maybe like a 4th or a 5th. So let's say, for example, the Cardinals trade back to 4. They take our 3. We get Michael Pittman Jr. I would hope that they would give us back maybe like another 4 or something like that. Because it's literally just one spot. But who knows? They might give us more. Who knows? I wouldn't mind that. Honestly, I don't mind that at all. Yeah, but I don't think they would trade him though. I personally don't think that they will trade him because they're going through a rebuild themselves as well. And Michael Pittman Jr. is probably going to be one of their best wide receivers in a staple piece for their future. Just kind of the way I like to look at it. If this is your first time here, definitely go ahead and smack the like button. Appreciate you guys for being here, by the way. Smack it up. Let's see if we can get over to 100. Oh, let's shoot small. Let's go to 50 likes. Let's do that. Let's shoot small. I think we're at 30 something last time I looked. Definitely go and smack that like button if you guys haven't done so already. Appreciate you guys. So yes, the idea of trading back is going to be the big talking point here. Let's do this. We got 10 minutes. 10 minutes here, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to open up the phone lines. We might be able to get 3 to 4 different people on here right now to see what you guys have to say. I'm putting the link in the comments below right now, ladies and gentlemen, and I will be pinning it. I'm going to be getting 3 people to talk trade back or not trade back for the Cardinals. The link has been posted, ladies and gentlemen. It's right there. It's going to get pinned at this very moment. Let's go ahead and click on the link. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this whole situation. Should the Cardinals trade back? Should they not trade back? Come on through. There's going to be about 2 or 3 people, depending on how long these calls are. I want to hear from what you guys have to say and why trade back or not trade back is something that you would want the Cardinals to do. Link is pinned there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear from what you guys have to say. And let's kind of create a conversation piece. Should the Cardinals trade back or should we not trade back? Somebody says we should rather get Quentin Nelson. Yeah, but I think that's least likely than Michael Pittman Jr. Quentin Nelson is a beast. A beast. All right, but let's get this going here. Let's get AZ1998 up in here right now. You are live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling about this debate?
Well, all I got to say is everything is crazy with the Panthers, like them trading up from 9 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a lot of like mumbles and rumbles about them trying to trade up like really aggressively. But I think one thing that made it a for sure thing was just how much draft capital they have, and that Frank Wright wants his quarterback. Sam Darnold's not going to be it. And the other quarterback, I don't remember the rookie from last year. I don't think he was going to be it either. So, but if you really think about it, this set up the Cardinals for a very good trade back with the Colts. And Monty has to play that chess game. I mean, if we don't play that chess game well with the Colts, we could probably just screw ourselves and just stick and pick, which I wouldn't mind either. But
yeah.
I wouldn't want to draft Jalen Carter because of the situations that happened off field. I mean, it's just too much of a risk. I mean, we've had that happen with a couple, like Michael Floyd, when he had his off-field issues. We lost that receiver. Robert Kimdichie. I mean, there's just so many things that could happen with somebody with that kind of personality. And why not take Will Anderson? He could look like the next Michael Parsons for us. So,
yeah.
and that's what I'm saying is, trade with the Colts, get extra draft capital, and then after that, draft Will Henderson. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I think it's just a lot of Cardinals fans are trying to get greedy with picks. I mean, here's the thing: it's a lottery pick. It's like 1 in a million chance that you hit on a good player.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but I really hope the Cardinals just trade back with the Colts and get Will Anderson, and they get more draft capital. I hope that's what happens.
I hope so too, honestly, and I hope that everybody was thinking the same way that we're thinking as well. Will Anderson, I know everybody that we get is a lottery, right? It's a gamble, but he's got higher probability of working out than any other person out there. What are your thoughts on? So you said J.C. Jackson was arrested?
Yeah, so I didn't realize you were talking about William Jackson, but I did look up J.C. Jackson yesterday, and yeah, he got arrested for like a family dispute that got violent. Ooh. So yeah, so that's 2 corners, but J.C. Jackson, yeah, that happened in Massachusetts, and charges released him yesterday afternoon, I think is when it was.
Sheesh. Okay, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, William Jackson, who's I originally talking about, but yeah, thanks for letting me know about that. I didn't know that. Appreciate you, man.
Yep, but I mean, good.
Yeah, I agree, brother. Later, man. Peace. All right, let's get this going. We got the link pinned up on the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Click on the link if you want to come through and let us know. I agree with AZ fan. Honestly, I agree with the AZ fan. I understand where people are coming from. Like, they want to get more picks, but like, it's not gonna I fear that this is going to be the situation of Terrell Suggs. Like, this is what I fear. This is what I fear, and I get it. We got to see Terrell Suggs here, and nobody was impressed. I get it, but that was towards his end part of his career, right? So let's be honest here. The Arizona Cardinals are in a really good position, and the Colts should be the number 1 team, an only team that they should try to trade back with. The only one. 12? No. 7, 8? No. Why? Why trade back? For Seahawks to take these picks and make us remind? Nick Bosa is doing that to us right now. Whether you think or not, Nick Bosa is going to be that guy that's always going to remind us, hey, you didn't draft me. Nick Bosa is that guy. So, I don't want them to trade out. The only one I would like them to trade out, and the only real one I want to trade them out to, is the Colts. That's it. That's it. That's it. Because if you look at the draft order, Carolina, they didn't move up for no reason. But I did hear some rumors and rumbles about Carolina also trying to move out of that number 1 spot. Like they're trying to do like Kevin Costner in draft day, essentially what's going on there with the Carolina. If that's true, if it's true. But Carolina, if they stay at number 1, quarterback. Houston, most likely go quarterback. Cardinals don't need a quarterback. Colts need a quarterback. We have an option here to get the best person in the draft. But if the Colts can somehow get scared and get worried that somebody wants that 3rd overall spot and they want to secure it, the Cardinals are open. The phone lines are open. That's what I would want Monty to do. Monty Ossenfort, your first job right here, what you need to do is call the Colts. Or no, you don't call it. You let the whispers, you let the whispers and you let everything be known that, hey, this thing is open. This thing is open. We're ready to talk business. And then you let it leak that it's very, very intriguing to trade away from that 3. Get the Colts really worried. The only thing that might backfire on the Cardinals is that the Colts truly like every single quarterback that's coming out of this draft. If they like Will Levis, if they like Bryce Young, if they like CJ Stroud, and also if they like Anthony Richardson. If they like all of them, then okay, well, they don't want it, right? They're willing to risk it because even if somebody takes that 3, they're going to take any of the other quarterbacks anyways. They can go to 3. It's open. Pick up the phone. We're ready to make a deal with the Colts and only the Colts. You trade back to 12, you trade back to anything past the top 5, you're only setting yourself up for failure. Because we're always going to say the things as, oh, they are getting better, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the chat. The moment I said something about Isaiah Simmons, oh my God, you're a hater. When I'm speaking the truth, you're a hater, they said. You're a hater in Isaiah Simmons. When I put the disclaimer out there, there's nothing personal shot taken here on that, but I would rather gone this route than go this route. Now hindsight looking what's going on. Because all we're saying when we're talking about Isaiah Simmons and we're talking about Zayvon Collins, oh, they're getting better. That's all we're saying. They're getting better every single year. Get Will Anderson. Don't outthink yourself in this situation. Will Anderson should be the number 1 guy you should be on your draft board, Arizona Cardinals. You trade anything past that, I start to question this new regime from the get. From the get. Somebody says this year's draft class is stacked. Do you remember when people said that the wide receiving? Remember, I was a year or 2 ago. I think it was the CeeDee Lamb's draft class when somebody said that the wide receiving core was stacked. Do you remember that? How many good wide receivers came out of that draft? And I mean, great wide receivers. I'm not talking about mid to okay, they're there. I'm talking about great wide receivers. I was talking about your Julio Jones in their prime, Larry Fitzgerald in their prime. So to hear people say this room is stacked, it doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't. Because we also know that this edge class is stacked. But let's be honest. You would rather have a Will Anderson over what's that guy's first name? Van Ness. He's a player. Lucas Van Ness. You would rather have Will Anderson than Lucas Van Ness, right? Like, let's be honest. You would rather have Will Anderson than a Miles Murphy, right? Like, let's be honest. Yes, it's stacked, right? It's stacked, but you would rather have the shoe-in, the guy that's going to be the guy, than waiting for, oh, he's getting better. right? Oh, we're waiting for progression. We've been waiting for progression for years. Years. And I don't think it's all on Isaiah. I don't think it's all on Zaven. I'm not saying they're busts. I'm not saying they're busts. I'm saying that Vance Joseph has a lot to play in the situation of them not developing correctly. I agree with that. The development wasn't good with VJ. He didn't play him. Year one, it was moot. That's on VJ. I agree with that. That's definitely on VJ. But per career, if you're gonna go to the Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, they're not right now. No, they're not. Let me get to this contribution. It says, hey, Mike, you going live on draft night? Most likely. I usually do it all 3 days, but it's going to be different this year around. I think it might just be the 1 year or the 1 day. But yes, I think there is plans to do a draft party kind of on this channel so we could all kind of, talk and, be excited about our draft picks and stuff like that. So yeah, we are going to be doing it for sure. Appreciate the contribution, man. Thank you so very much. Yeah. So here we are. The Cardinals, should they trade back or should they not? It seems like per our voting cast, we got a lot of people saying yes and a lot of people saying no. The biggest debate coming into this offseason, heading into the NFL draft, is should the Cardinals trade back or should they not? I'm in the, I guess, the boat of the Cardinals should only trade back with one team and one team only. It's the Colts. Anything else, you're overthinking it. Anything else, it's just, we're always going to be that team that never gets those superstars because of the decisions that we make. Let that sink in. If anything you take away from this live stream, remember this: years down the road, if we don't do the Will Anderson move, remember this: we're always going to be that team that doesn't get Sean Payton. We're always going to be that team that doesn't go for the guys that we need to go for because we're getting a little too greedy. Because we want the picks. I understand Chicago got a lot. I understand it. But Chicago doesn't have a quarterback that's taking up a lot of their cap. We do. So we got to be smart. Got to be smart with it. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you so very much. That is going to end our live stream. One big shout out here again to Underdog Fantasy that is sponsoring this video here today. Use promo code here, AZSF, so you can go ahead and get your deposit matched up to $100. If you put in $10, they'll match you $10. You put $25, they'll match you $25. But definitely go ahead and download the app today. Official sponsor of the AZ Sports Fans, this specific video. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're going to be closing shop here today. If you guys haven't already smacked the like button, definitely do so right now. Smack it up. Subscribe if you enjoyed the conversation. Even if you didn't agree with me, join the conversation. We're going to be doing more of these live streams as, it unfolds. We got free agency coming our way. We got the draft coming our way. So we got a lot of news coming out here of the world of the Arizona Cardinals. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day and go Cards.